Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today we will continue about the mini-series about Disney Encyclopedia. So last time I let you with this, so when we hit play we were able to retrieve a lot of information from the Disney API, and now today we'll implement, so when I will type on the search bar something, and when I press enter or if I press search, it will be able to retrieve and show me the character on Disney. So let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do, so let's head back to our project and let's go on script and let's open the view encyclopedia. So let's open it. And what we want to do, we want to add some new parameters. So let's serialize some fields. So let's serialize some field and let's add so private game object. So let's create a game object. So game object, and we want to add the panel. So panel content info character. So basically this will represent my panel where I store all the character. After what we need to do, so let's serialize some field and let's add private the search bar, so the tmp underscore input field, and what we want to add is input field, so input field search bar, so search bar. Okay, we'll take this chance to add the previous and the next page, so basically the game object. So serialize field, serialize field private game object previous page. Okay, and last thing, so serialize field, and let's add also so private, so private game object next page. Okay, and last thing we need to add is again another serialize field, and let's add so private, this time text mesh pro, so text mesh pro u GUI current current page text. This will allow us to follow everything when we change the page. So this is just a preparation for the next time. So also what we need to do, we need to have a reference for our panel. This will be very important for the next thing we'll follow. Also, so let's create this. So let's create this. So let's create a public game object. Let's name it get panel content, so content info character, and we can use body expression like this, so nice to have. And next thing we need to do, we need to able to track what the user put in parameter inside our input field. So what we want to do, we want to create a local variable, so generic variable, so private, so search, so let's name search text, and this will be by default equal to nothing, and for sure don't forget to put a string because it will be a string. And now we can create basically, so if I head back to Unity, as you can see on our search bar, we got different type of on value change, on edit, on select, etc, etc. So I will use this to be able to track what basically the user is typing. So let's head back to Visual Studio. Okay. And what we want to do, we would just want to create some other function. So let's create so a public, so I will just move this because it's kind of a getter. So let's put this here to be more beautiful. And let's create so a public void and on value change input field search bar. Okay, like this. And what we want to do, we just want to make search text. So search text will be equal to text or to value. Okay, and we want to do the same for the edit. So public void so on value and edit, so and edit, input field search bar string value. Okay, and what we want to do, we just want to make, so search bar again, search text will be equal to value. Also, what we want to create, we want to be able, when he submit his text, we want to be able to call the API to be able to search. So we'll prepare the field for this. So let's create a public void on press enter submit. So enter submit like this. Again, it will take in parameter a string, so string, and we call this value. And basically, in this function, again, we'll say search text, so search text will be equal to value. So now, what we want to do, we can head back to Unity, and let's drag and drop our functionality and our serialized field. Let's go on the view encyclopedia, and let's add for first the script, and let's drag and drop the object referring to what I just declared. So panel will be panel, input field will be the search bar, previous button, so previous, where is previous, so where is it, container navigation, like this, so previous page, so not parent, but so previous page, and same thing for next page, like this, and current text with this, and like that, we are good to go. So also in the search bar, what we want to do, we want to add our functionality. So basically on the on value change and on edit. So let's drag and drop the like this and like that, and we want to call basically the function, so on value change input field search bar, and also on value change and edit, so and edit input field. And what we want to do on the search bar, on the search button, we also want to add, so like this, the functionality. So where is it? So view encyclopedia, and I think I forget to basically create the function for the search button. So basically we'll head back to Visual Studio, and let's, for this function is basically for when I press enter on the submit on the input field, and this function will be executed. So let's create another function. So on click search button, so on click search button, and right now this function will don't do anything because we didn't code in the controller what it should call for be able to retrieve the information. So we can save this. Now we can head back to Unity and drag and drop the function. So where is it? So let me just, like this will be here, search button, add it, and view encyclopedia, on click search button. Okay, so now we just set the view encyclopedia. So now what we want to do, we want to be able to, when basically I type something, so right now basically it registers. So let me show you. So if I put a debug over there, so let's put debug.log, so debug.log, and we want to show the search text, so search text, and I will do the same for the end value, like this. You will see in the console basically what is happening. So let's head back to Unity. Okay, and now if I hit play and I start typing some stuff like this, okay, as you can see, it's registered. And even if I going out of the input field, as you can see, the text I type is registered, and we can, like this, search for something. So one thing to add is when I'm in the input field, for example, if I tap this and I press enter, I want to be able to submit basically what I make. So to do that, so let's head back to Visual Studio. I will put a link in the description. I already make a video on how this will work. So we want to use the extension method I made. So I will show you how did I made it. So let's go on util classes. So util classes, and basically I already make an extension method over there to be able, when I press enter, to be able to call this function. So what I want to do, maybe in the start, so yeah, maybe in the start, let's copy the input field. So let's make input field search bar dot on submit, so on submit input field tmp, and he will ask basically a callback. So, and basically we already make a callback, so on press, so on press enter submit. And like this, if I save this and I head back to Unity, you will see when I hit play and I type maybe test like this. So as you can see, it registers over there. But if I press enter, as you can see, we just got the test and we are outside the function, outside the input field. So this is set up. So now we need to use the controller to be able to retrieve the information. So let's head back to the controller. So let's head back to the controller encyclopedia and let's add some modification on it. So the first thing we need to do, because we want to have everything on visual, so let's serialize some fields. So let's serialize some field and let's create private game object, so game object, and let's call this thumbnail, so thumbnail and name, so thumbnail and name, character prefab, so character character prefab, okay. And basically this will use what we did in the first video. Also, what I will need to do, so I will need to create another classes to be able to handle when I receive the data on the thumbnail and character object. So let me just quick fix this because I think I misspell it. Character, like this, prefab. Okay, and so let's head back to Unity and let's create basically another classes to be handling all the data I receive. Again, if you don't remember, the prefab is this. So basically our prefab contain a text, contain our cycle, and contain a name. And we need to be able to handle this when basically we receive our thumbnail and our name from our Disney character. So to do this, so let's head back to the script function, a script folder, and let's create a C# and let's create this view character. So view character, so character, and let's open it again in Visual Studio Code. So what I want to add, so I will need the text mesh pro, so using TMP Pro. I will need to using also Unity Engine, so Unity Engine.ui, because I will need to handle some image. And what I want to do, I need to add some serialized field. So let's create serialized field. So let's serialize some field. Let's create private image, and this will represent our profile picture. So profile picture of our character. So picture of our character, so character, okay. What I want to do, I want to add also private text mesh pro UGUI, so text mesh pro UGUI, and this will represent the name of our character. Also, I will need to handle one thing, so serialize some fields, so because sometimes we don't have any sprite. So basically I will need to change the sprite on the image. So sprite, let's create a sprite, and this one will be no picture found. So if we don't have, when we retrieve the character thumbnail and text mesh pro, if we don't have any thumbnail, we'll say no picture found. And this basically will show another picture of not found. Okay, I hope I make it clear. Okay, so now what we want to do, we don't need the update and the start function. We just need to, so let me erase this like this. We need to create some function. So let's create a public void apply, so apply data received, so received, so receive, uh, re, so received, and it will take in parameter a datum character, like this. So datum character received, so received. And basically, what we want to do here, we just use, we want to use basically the datum character received and download the image from the URL we just add. So basically, I want to use a start coroutine. And again, if you don't know how to download an image from web, I will put a link in the description. I already make a video on how to do this. So I will use again the util function. So download image from web, and basically I will use datum character receive. So datum character receive dot image URL, basically the URL from the image, and we need to create, so sorry, we need to create basically a function to be able to apply the download image. So right now we don't have this, so let me just create this function. So let's create a private, so private void apply sprite to picture character, okay, and it will take basically a sprite. Not we can name this download sprite, but rather use sprite character, so character, and we call this inside our callback over there. So let me copy paste this, and like this we just be able to retrieve and apply our image from the character. Also, what I want to do, I want to create a function to be able to apply another type of data, so basically the text. So let's create a private void apply text to name character, and it will take in parameter string and name character, and basically I will say name character dot text, so dot text will be equal to name character. Also, because we'll be able to retrieve a lot of data and we want to reuse the same instant prefab, I want to be able to clean some data. So what I want to do, I want to create a public void clean all data. So clean all data. And inside this function, I want to have profile picture. So profile picture character dot sprite will be equal to not this, but null, like this, because like this we empty the profile picture, and also name character dot text will be equal to null. All right, so let's apply text like this. So don't forget parentheses over there, like that. So apply text, and we want to use datum character receive dot name. So now we can save this, and we need to code our function to be able to apply the picture. So basically what we want to do, we just want to say sprite character. So if sprite character again, sorry, so if sprite character equal to null, so equal to null, like this, what we want to do, we want to say sprite character will be equal to not picture found, so not no picture found. Okay, and if it's not null, what we want to do, we just want to say profile picture character dot sprite will be equal to sprite character. Now we can save this, and we can head back to the controller encyclopedia. And in the controller encyclopedia, what I want to create, because I will need it, I will want to create a private list, so private list of our basically view character. So view character, and let's name this so view character. So view character will be equal to a new list of view character. Let's head back to Unity, and inside the the prefab. So let me find the prefab. So inside the prefab, we need to add basically the view character and drag and drop basically the profile picture, etc., etc. So the profile picture basically will be so the character face like this. So name character will be the text and the not found picture. So let me show you. So everything is on the GitLab. You can find everything. So let me just put PNG on this sprite like this. Apply. And inside the parent, we just want to drag and drop our sprite over there. So basically, it's just 444 not found from Disney with Wreck-It Ralph. Nice. Okay, so we almost done with the viewport and the view encyclopedia. Now we can head back to our controller, and inside the controller I make the list. Basically it will instantiate the list for our character. To be able to do that, let's install the start function. So let's create let's create instantiate character UI. So let's create a private void instantiate. So instance view character UI. So character UI, and it will take in parameter int the size, the page size limit, because we want to be able to only right now 12, but you can add it more if you want. But by default, I will use 12. So size limit. Why I put this in parameter? Because again, in the IPA communicator, I make a getter over there, and you can change it if you want. And this is why I put this in parameter, because if you want to change, you just only change. You just need to only change on the API communicator like this. And what we want to do, we just want to do a for, and we want to int e equal 0, and if e lower than page size limit, so page size limit e plus plus like this. And what we want to do, I want to say view character. So view character, so let's name it VC, will be equal to instantiate. So instantiate, and it will take the thumbnail character prefab. The transform will be equal. Remember, I put a getter on the panel. This is here. It will use. So let's say view encyclopedia. So view encyclopedia dot instance dot get panel content. So get panel content info character, and I will use his transform, and I will use the get component view character on it to be able to add also get also the view character on it. What I want to do after, I just want to say vc dot game object dot set active not equal to true but false, because we don't need it right now, because we don't get any character, but we start to instantiate it. And also what I want to do, I just want to basically on the view character list to add my character I just instantiated. So we can save this, and we can call basically this install the start function. And inside the start function, what I want to do, I just need to add the new parameter, and the new parameter will be basically equal to, so API communicator encyclopedia dot get size get page size limit. So why is not happy? Does not contain. Okay, I think I misspell it. Get page size limit like this. It's like this. Okay. All right. So now we can save this. We can head back to Unity, and if we just hit play, nothing will happen. But I mean, nothing will happen if we hit play. Basically, it will instantiate. So I got null ref. So oh yeah, I forget to add the prefab. So let me fix it quickly. So let's again prefab, and let's drag and drop this inside like this. Now we can save this, and if I hit play, you will see basically all the character basically instantiate. So we can see in the panel here all our prefab, if I may say, of our character. All right. So now what we want to do, we just need to be able to retrieve our data. So last thing we need to do inside the controller, what I want to say is instead of using this receive data, let's try to retrieve at least one data. We don't basically need that anymore. And we want to create for our research button. So let's create a receive data. So we already add one. So we start basically with a list. So let me just create a if statement. So if list list response dot data dot count is upper than 0, we want to handle all the lists. So basically I want to do basically current oh yeah, I forget one more thing. Inside the declaration over there, I will need to add, so let's create a private info because I will need it, and I want to say current info, so current info received, because we need to know what type of info we just received. So again, if I head back to the received data like this, so let's current info received, so will be equal basically to the list, so list response dot info. So basically we just transfer the info, and what we want to do, we just want to apply basically the data we just received. So to do that, we want to create a new function. So let's create a function, let's call it private void apply received data of type list, and it will take in parameter basically a character API, so character API response, and now we need to type the type we want to receive. So this time, because I'm using a list, I will use list, and let's name this characters, because we receive a list. And what we want to do, we just want to put a for, so for int e equals 0, so instead int e equal 0, while so e lower than the characters dot info dot count, we want to e++, like this. And inside this, we just want to basically call our function. So the function we want to use is view characters of e, and we want to say dot. First thing we need to do is clean all data, because we don't know if it's the first time or it's another new time. So we want to clean the data from our view character of e. We want to say view character dot of e, and we want to use basically we want to set active. So we need to set active our game object. So dot game object dot set active will be equal to true. And last thing, I think you already see it with Kodi extension. So a view character of e, and we want to apply basically the receive data from the character data e. And just let me rename it, because I think I misspelled it, like this, like that. And what we want to do, we also want to, we need to handle all the view character that is not basically used, because let's say the first time we will receive 12 character. That's awesome, because we got all the 12 character. But if I just research and I got only 3 character, because we didn't handle the last 9, the last 9 will be remaining. So we need to handle this. So to be able to handle this, let's create private a void. So let's create deactivate. So deactivate useless thumbnail. So thumbnail and name character UI. So name character and UI. And it will take in parameter a int. So basically the data received the data received for one page for one page. Okay, and basically what we want to do, we again want to do a for, but reverse for. So let's create a for, and we want to say int e will be equal to view character.count. So view character.count -1, and if e is lower or is upper or equal to data received for one page, e minus. We want to reverse basically the view character list. And what we want to do is here we want to say view character of e dot gameObject dot setActive will be equal to false on the second time, and we want to say also view character dot e and clean the data. And we just need to call this. So let me just quick fix this. Deactivate. So deactivate useless like this, and we need to call this here over there, and it will take in parameter basically the character data count. So character dot data dot count like this. Now we can save this, and basically we need to apply. We need to call the apply data data list. So I think you guessed when we'll call this. We need to call this basically in the receive data like this, and it will take in parameter the list response. Okay, and again, two more things, and we will be done with all the setting up kind of for this video of receiving and handling the data. What I want to do is to be able to handle the received data. So to do this, we need to create. So let's create a public search character. So basically this will handle the search character, and it will take in parameter. So let's create a public void search character. So it will take in parameter basically a string user search text. Okay, and it will say inside this search character, I will just say so API communicator. So API communicator encyclopedia dot get character. So get character by name with limit size, and it will take in parameter a callback. So basically the callback will be the received data because we'll receive the data, and the user search text like this. So we don't need this because we already inside the get character by name we already set the size, so we don't need to again repeat it here. Again, if I head back to the get character name, this is the API call, and this, if I head back to the view encyclopedia, will be called inside the onPress enter. So basically I will just need to do controller. So controller can't remember. Controller encyclopedia dot instance dot, and I want to use the search bar and with the search text like this. And this is how you can use the MVC controller. So this is basically the main purpose of the video and the main purpose of this mini series on how we just separate the logic and the code. So here it's only handling the view. This is normal. It's calling view encyclopedia, and this is all the logic is created over there. So this is how powerful it is to use MVC. But we don't finish yet because we need to handle multiple cases. So now if I head back to Unity and we try to type something, so let me let me just press play, and let me just press, for example, let's say for searching Meg inside in Hercules. So let's type Meg, let's press enter, and as you can see, everything is retrieved. So we didn't handle all the navigation, but this will be in the next video, and we don't handle the case when we only receive one character, because this is a list of character. But how awesome is it to use API, and with one thing, when we code everything, we just retrieve anything. So as you can see, the character have also Meg inside the name. It's normal because we just search for Meg. And again, some of the characters don't have any profile picture, or the profile picture is not good set. So we just use 404 to say we didn't get it. Okay, so I think this video is long enough. So we'll see. I will see you in the next part of the video, and I guess the last one. For now on, if you got any question, I know it's kind of complex to understand everything and how everything is working, but trust me, this is a very powerful thing, and it will help you to use your code. And if you want to add more functionality to it, the MVC pattern is very nice and very powerful. So I recommend you use it even on your small game or small project on any type. Definitely use it. It's very nice to have it. So if you got any question, do not hesitate to comment the video. If you like the content and if you learn something, subscribe. It will be very nice, and thumb up, it will be very nice, and I will be very happy on it. Don't forget, everything is on the GitLab. So the GitLab again is open, and I think it will still get open. And that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learned something, and I guess I catch you guys next time. Bye bye.